Actually, I have nothing to say. I'm here to learn from you and take your blessings. But if you allow me and if you pray for me, I can share some thoughts with you very quick. Actually, in today's gospel, on the Vesper, when our Lord said, I say to you, wherever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be told as a memorial to her. And what this woman has done, if we compare it with what Saint Mary has done, so maybe we find a greater cause to remember her. That's why maybe the church assigned this time of the year, every year, to focus on our Mother Saint Mary and try to learn from her virtues, her love, her humility, quietness, life of praise and thanksgiving, a lot of virtues and a lot of things that we can learn from Saint Mary. What I was thinking of is what St. Paul said, imitate me as I imitate Christ. If St. Paul said, imitate me as I imitated Christ, I would say, so this verse can be applied also for our Mother Saint Mary. So we try to be like her. Or maybe I can ask myself whenever in a certain situation, what would Saint Mary do? Or what would Mama Mary do? Mama Mary. Have you heard this before? Okay. I was talking with someone, and she told me that, may the prayer of Mama Mary be with you. I told her, Mama Mary? She said, yes. I call her Mama Mary all the time. And it gives me an idea about the depth of the relationship between this lady and our Mother Saint Mary, Mama Mary. So what would Mama Mary do? It's hard to know what would anyone does in a certain situation if you don't know this person. So the more you know this person, the more you would expect what he would do or what he would say. So again, it is a relationship. And in any relationship, one of the greater factors is time. So the more we spend time together, the more we get to know each other. If we don't spend time together, it's hardly we can know each other. I might see all of you today and ask you about your name, and that's it. So if someone asked me, do you know whoever? I would say, yeah, I met him before. Do you really know him? I'm not sure about that. I need to spend more time with him. So again, that's why maybe this is the wisdom of the Holy Spirit through the church, is to spend time with Saint Mary. I know that we're at the end of the journey. Tomorrow is a Vesper, but we still have time. And I hope that it's not just for 2 weeks of the year, but throughout the year, we can spend time with our Mother Saint Mary and try to learn of her. Try to meditate and reflect on her life. The way she behaved and the way she responded to God's will in her life. And ask myself, what would Saint Mary do? What would my Mama Mary do in this kind of situation? We might face some challenges in life, and we don't know how to respond. But I may ask myself, what would Mama Mary do? What would Saint Mary do in this kind of situation? What she would do with false accusation, what she would do with when the will of God is something it will be hard for me to handle, or maybe I can't understand. or I need to leave the place that I grow up with and move to another place, or a lot of situations that we might face. And before we react to this, I might ask myself, what would Saint Mary do? I know that we used to learn what would Jesus do, but he will not be upset if I ask myself, what would Mama Mary do? Because again, this is what St. Paul said, imitate me as I imitate Christ. So if we try to imitate one of the saints, at the end he will lead us to Christ. Yes? No? Okay? So would we start doing that? Would you consider that to be something to think of? What would Mama Mary do? If you have a problem with one of your friends at school, or someone is bullying you, or saying bad words against you, or you're facing a hardship, or you're facing a situation that it's too tough, or it's hard to understand, maybe we can ask ourselves, what would Mama Mary do, or what would Saint Mary do? Hopefully this will lead us to Christ as well, because she was so submissive to his will in her life, and that's why he said, what this woman has done will also be told as a memorial to her.